Things Mr. Welch can no longer do in tabletop RPGs, number 1090. Even if I roll a nat 20, I cannot jump the Grand Canyon on a stock steamroller. So, mods. We've got overpowered mods, mods that change the balance of the game, mods to turn this into a whole new type of game, and then we got the weird. Yeah, those kind of mods that make you go, huh, that's odd. Or potentially grimace. One or the other, or maybe both. Today we are talking about these bizarre mods, and hopefully you find something that might fit in your playthrough or not. Who can say? So sit back, relax, maybe after this watch something a little more sane as we go over the weird mods of Rimworld. First off, let's play around with a silly xenotype. The clown xenotype. Yes, no brainer. Why this is a weird mod, clowns are happy-go-lucky xenotypes who focus on crafting, art, and social, and with them always being kind and happy, they make for good speakers, even if it suddenly turns your religion in a circus. Not so good for combat, but really I don't expect cream pies to the face to be the most powerful. Still a neat xenotype. Throw in the clown music for combat, and you will have Entrance of the Gladiators playing while your base burns to the ground. And yes, that famous clown music is called Entrance of the Gladiators. I know, weird how something that was meant to invoke something epic has become a literal joke. Now, Rimworld is no stranger to different races and xenotypes. Looking through, yeah, we are gonna miss some, so let us know of any weird races. For now, we have found stuff like the Quartzian race continued. It's rock people, all made of quartz. Naturally gifted at mining, they are perfect material gathering, though a bit slow and clumsy. Perhaps don't put them on construction. Though despite the look, they are pretty smart. A good researcher colonist, plus they come in a variety of colors, so collect them all, or sell them. One or the other. The Urkin race is bringing back memories of growing up in the 2000s with Invader Zim. Can I just say, why did Nickelodeon hire a man who called a comic called Johnny the Homicidal Maniac to make a kids show? Well, no matter what, that show was a true comedy that gave us great epic plot twists. The Urkins are big-eyed aliens who, with their packs, are great for research and labor, though it doesn't mean they can't fight back. By the way, their packs are kinda needed for them. Without them, they get big penalties. Find them at exotic good traders if you want your Urkin invasion to go well. So, animals. You love them, I love them, but know what could make them even better? If they could fight with me, with the arms and armor of the Rim. Big and small sapient animals has just that for me, and this right here is a game changer. With one simple device, the Cognify, that can be found as a reward or crafted with Nutramite, Glitterworld meds, and advanced components. Yeah, this is how you turn a tamed animal into a full-fledged colonist. You could use it on a wild animal, but maybe don't do that. Might have some issues. Animals vary in quality and abilities, but for a general rule, if an animal have hands or trunks, they can use weapons. Hooves ain't gonna be able to hold a gun, of course. They also prefer to sleep on beds now, though for some pet owners that isn't a change. Hopefully, a fun silly mod could totally see an Animal Utopia playthrough. Food for thought. So in terms of weirdness, the insect hive queen. Why can't we milk them? Not for insect jelly, no, we want the great refreshing taste of Slim. That's right, today's sponsor is that fresh taste that makes you go and travel. Risk it for the biscuit, and of course, party like Slurms McKenzie, who never died despite what anyone tells you. Slurm, the drink of the stars. And insects. I can't believe Bren got this sponsorship again. Speaking of milking, how about milking mechanoids? Bren, what? So mechanoid milking lets you milk mechanoids that are, compatible. Like many of the Silver Souls Maidenoid mods. Of course, to milk regular mechs, there is a mod for that. Unfortunately. If you have the mechanoid baby, you can install artificial wombs into mechanoids, breed with them, and not only do they produce children, they also produce milk. I should mention that children born this way vary based on the technological level of the artificial womb. Industrial takes the longest, and pawns born this way can end up frail. Spacer level are faster and has a chance to give a child a mechanite improvement to their physiology. Finally, Archotech mechanoid wombs, because of course the Archotechs have that that kind of thing. With an extremely fast 10-day gestation period, reliably give the mechanite boost. This boost being blood filtration, pumping, movement, hearing, and sight of 25%. Okay, might be worth it to lay with a technological toaster. Alright, we gotta talk about the works of Turkler. Turkler has two faces of mods. 1. Mods that change the game's mechanics or enhance them, stuff like Mechanitor encounters, and the Severnity mod. Then there is the lewd mods, like today's choices to curse you with. Lactation. Expansion. Expands the mechanical use for breast milk, either providing genes affecting them, drugs to induce lactation, and of course the use of actual milk for stuff. Okay, I may just be reading a script, but I am uncomfortable reading the script for you guys to watch the video, so you better like this video because I am uncomfortable with my own video. Alright, continuing. This has support with Alpha Crafts. You can make crafts out of this stuff. Randy, help us all. This is a well-made mod, but not gonna lie, feel kinda dirty. Yes, I do. What's next? We just had to talk about the weird mods. Yep, Lustrous Leotards provides leotards for pawns to wear. This is much better. Yes, all pawns can wear them. Yes, they improve the beauty and social impacts. And yes, they are completely useless in a fight since it's a leotard. Not exactly perfect for a fight. Look, if you want a great mod by Turkler, try the Intimacy Friends and Lovers and Social Butterfly mods which actually improve the social aspect of Rimworld colonists, like legitimately well done. But please, no more Turkler mods in this script. There's too much. It's too much. Turkler, you're too much. Yes, Turkler did DM me on Discord. Oh god. Okay, Turkler's mods. Moving on. Alrighty, let's move on from the feminine form. Please, people gonna think it's a Gunner mod list. Weird mods indeed. So, Monity is I hope I said that right, but it is a mod that retextures the anomaly stuff to look moe. Real talk, don't know if this is more or less horrifying. Either way, the textures horrifying aside do look good, and there are alternative texture packs for the other stuff in Rimworld. So if you want to have even more cutesy anime girls all over the rim, well, more power to you. Me, I'm gonna kill it with fire. On the subject of whores upon the rim, let's be grateful we don't have the Umbrella Corporation doing weird experiments out on the rim. Well, crap. So, Resident Rim, as the name implies, provides arms, armor, and the forces of the undead from Capcom's flagship product, Biohazard. You get it all. The clothing of the Umbrella Corporation, RPD uniforms, and enough guns to make a doomsday prepper happy. Also, a new storyteller, Adrian Voss. He will be taking notes as he unleashes a zombie raid every 2 days. So get prepared and aim for the head. That's where the pudding is. And barring that, remember to mix some herbs. Not to smoke them, but to use them to heal or improve your pawns. Keep up the fight. They gotta all go down eventually. I hope. Just don't run into a manor. The residents are evil. While on the subject of the undead, Thriller Night, a mod that lets you do a Thriller Night ritual to allow the undead to party the night away. It also gets your pawns in a party mood too, and let's be honest, when the undead start a-dancing, you better join in. Seriously though, it's a great mod, silly but useful for mood buffing, and hey, in the right necromantic or cult-like playthrough, it could be thematic, if again a bit silly. Of course, vampires are a form of undead. Why not make them into vampiric squirrels? Wait, what? Yeah, armored, amphibious vampire squirrels. They had meat and corpse-only eating squirrels to the game. Yes, they are basically designed to make you suffer as they are gonna clear out the land of small and medium prey, so yeah, have a good time with this one. Or not. I'm not your dad. While we can talk about subject of rodents, how about we talk about the Cat in the Hat's worst nemesis, the rat with the gat? Yeah, this is just a mod that adds to the world's rats with pistols taped to their back. They fire randomly, so may or may not be useful. I will not be answering any more questions, except are there any more rodent-themed mods? I gotta go message Rat Knight about this one. The answer is yes. Like Ra's man-hunting rat shells continued, you heard that right. It's mortar shells that create a small swarm of man-hunting rats on impact. Is it practical? Actually, yes. pretty good at messing with sieges, distracting large raids, or just testing out your defenses when you are bored. Sure, the rats are going to be manhunting you if they have no other targets, but they are rats. Not the worst opponent unless you unleash like 10 shells at once. Then that might be a problem. But hey, that's a supply of meat you can collect and reuse for more shells. And then there is Milk Rats Reborn. Seriously, enough with the milkable things mods. We're done milking things. But yeah, it's boom rat variants that produce milk. Actually, milk like normal, chocolate and strawberry, so I suppose it's not the worst thing. Better than milk at the least. I suppose at least you could turn all the milk you are collecting into whey protein powder. A good conversion from spoilable milk into a version that has a long shelf life. I think the idea of a bunch of pawns bulking up on protein powder is hilarious enough to warrant being on the list. Okay, how about something that pawns might actually want to spend money on? Randy Burger. Yes, a nice Randy Burger. I don't mind the taste, a nice in-between of simple and fine food. Comes with either a cola that can be made of Nutrimine, steel, and Chemfuel for that jolt of energy your pawns might need, or a quenching muff beer. It's like beer, but it makes pawns much happier because it's name brand. Yeah, this is basically a Rimworld version of some Simpsons products, though, hey, I can dig the designs by Chicken Plucker. Just wish there was more. Expand the fast food to include fish sandwiches, large fries, and of course, 2 number 9s. Number 9 large, number 6 with extra dip, number 7 2 45s, 1 with cheese of course, and a large soda. For another thing that can quench your pawn's thirst, how about Awkward Dumb Monster Energy? Drink. Yes, probably said that wrong, but they're cans of that liquid energy sporting that recognizable claw more logo. They can give a pawn a sizable speed boost, at the cost of it being pretty addictive. But hey, it comes in many flavors, can be wielded as a weapon, and who wouldn't want their pawns to drink something that's a mix of Nutrimine, psychoid leaves, and Chemfuel? People who think what we do is a war crime and completely immoral, I say drink up and worry about it tomorrow. Of course, if you want to use psychoid leaves in a different form, why not vapes? Psychoid Vapes Expanded lets you expand your mind with a totally safe variety of different flavored vapes that can enhance your pawns. These mods are just getting ridiculous. Okay, yep, this with no side effects at all. Though for real, some of these are pretty good in a pinch, and you can either craft them or buy them for traders, so feel free to stock up or just get the whole colony on it, all up to you. Dear Lord, what is this mod list? You guys are actually going to download these mods, aren't you? What have I become? 5 years as a YouTuber, now we're just monsters. Great. Now, on to the crappy mods. I do mean that literally. We got Poop on Death. Yeah, it does exactly what it says on the tin. If something dies, it voids its bowels and ruins your perfectly nice floor. Why would you download it? I don't know. But I know you probably will, and yes, it is true, you void your bowels on death. So if you plan to go on a raid, maybe don't eat before that in case you die. Then there's F's Crap Expanded. Rephrase for YouTube. It expands the use of actual crap for use, like using feces for building material, food, and even prosthetics. This is cursed, and can it get any worse? Well, actually it can. The original poop mod, adding biomes and actual mechanics and buildings related to caca to your game of Rimworld. I do mean it, like specific freezers that uses poop to freeze rooms, turrets that launch feces at foes, and even a mortar that drops a big deuce right on someone's unlucky crap head. Yes, you can eat it. Can we go back to the milk mods, or at least something a little less cursed? I didn't think I'd be saying that today. I mean, it's a step away from cursed, I guess. The Mycohazard. A biological mechanitor mod is a mouthful and also a mod that gives you an organic alternative to machines. Fungus, if you don't know, aren't plants. They aren't animals either. They just kind of do their own thing in a form of hive mind. Now imagine that, but they want you dead. Now, while this mod is obviously a take on the biotech DLC, surprise, it's Anomaly. Starting off, get a pawn to eat a weird mushroom. It's a Nexus Bergian, and it turns the pawn into the Fungus Nexus. Comes with claws claws, a sweet hat, and the ability to call anomalies with their cursed howl. Why would you want to do this? Well, you need bodies. A Nexus can create burrows. They hold on to a limit of 5, but when released, they can inhabit a rotten corpse, and depending on the size, or if it's a humanoid, you get different servants. So variety is the spice of life in this one. Oh, and your fungal slaves have regen. Take advantage of that daily heal when needed. There is the fungus node, a building to deposit food within it to change the funguses into an edible slurry. The added bonus of the ground around it getting transformed into a rotten soil. Any pawn who can't adapt to rot stink will be affected by it. Makes getting rotten corpses a lot easier for sure. From there, take advantage of the other plant life at your disposal, like the mycelial trees that consume corpses you designating. I recommend desiccated corpses that can't be used. When fully grown, harvest them for more fungus. The cerebrum that consumes human corpses to give a Nexus more max servants in their control. Spore makers use biofreight as fuel to unleash their spores to help mood, speed, or consciousness. Cloud makers are huge fungus that can blot out the sun and even rain down a death pall. And hey, false parasols, which are a source of strong fabric material, but needed to be in the darkness of the cloud makers to grow. New rituals are plenty. I like the one that lets you combine 3 large servants and a living human into a huge metal terror. And the implants are, well, I wouldn't put them on, but I'm not that much of a fun guy, now am I? But yeah, this mod is weird, horrifying, and really fits the anomaly vibe. Would I recommend it for your playthrough? Maybe if the mood you want is complete horror. And yes, you can turn anything into your slaves, so throw in other mods and have fun. On the subject of horror, the Untitled Goose mod. A mod that unleashes a beast upon your territory that can't be reasoned with, can't be bribed, they have no alliance save their own, and now they may become your greatest threat. Peace was never an option. So yeah, maybe get some sniper rifles on them, just in case. Of course, it could be worse. It could be a skeleton jump scare. One that could happen, 1 in 10,000 chance to happen a second. Don't worry, I don't plan to jump scare you.
I love you!
Not a jump scare, but hey, kept you on your toes like this mod bite. There's also the Blue Lobster events expanded for all your jump scaring needs. I don't know why you need a blue lobster in your life, but hey, it gives a pawn minus 15 mood unless you tame it, then it gives everyone a plus 5 mood. You just have to deal with a loud music. Okay, this weird and useless, but great for the memes, I guess. For another mod that has a dubious use, except for the memes, you can bring your pawns into Spain without the A, and well, maybe do your own version of you spin me right round. Spin to win, I guess. Now, if you want a helpful surprise, while still keeping that weirdness you came here for, check out Gringer's Happens By. If you are a viewer of Samwell's streamer, you might recognize this bearskin wearing barbarian. For those of you who aren't in the know, Gringer here is the main character of The Eye of Argon, which is considered to be one of the best worst novellas in the sword and sorcerer fantasy genre of writing. So bad it's good. Its legacy lives on in Rimworld and in Mr. Streamer's work. As for the barbarian here, hey, if you also use the mod page's provided add-ons, you will have the full power Gringer Barbarian to aid you in your times of need. As for me, I'll stick with Wolfhound. Now, if you want the full Samwell streamer experience, get his meme super pack chock full of references, in-jokes, and potentially game-ending situations all wrapped up in a silly add-on. And I do mean silly, like the stick bugs, the super cucumbers, plenty of coal, might even out what happened to all the missing steel. Really, this is a mod to throw in and then be surprised when something off happens. And given how much Sam has been streaming and rimming, there is gonna be a lot of weirdness. And Sam, if you are watching this, thanks for doing what you do best. For a bit more variety in the pawn's backstories, checked out Cruiserain's serious and silly backstories. Yeah, you got some bangers like the basement dweller, game designer, propane salesman, and even a not safe for work artist. Actually, a lot of these are just funny references, find them all. And hey, any variety to the game adds that delicious spice we call life out on the rim. Dr. McNinja is a real thing. Like seriously, this is a real webcomic. Look it up. The Adventures of a Doctor Who is also a ninja. What's not to love? And the Dr. McNinja mod provides you with arms and armor related to ninjaing and doctoring. That is healing, not tax evasion. Yeah, this mod has it all. Mustache implants to make your pawns more charismatic, to ninja geese to be a proper stealth boy, even True Do, the drink of ninjas and those who can afford it. Plus, if you got biotech, it comes with new xenotypes, the Gagibuzo gorillas and the radical landers. Yeah, this mod is stilly, over the top, and I want to see more of Dr. McNinja. And hey, with a scenario of their own, you can start your own ninja clan. Of course, what's a ninja without an epic thing to slay? Sure, you could be boring and fight a Thrumbo or an insectoid hive queen. And hey, maybe even John the Devourer or Worlds of Ore. You could find a giant sandworm. Just follow the worm sign. Not even God has seen. That's right. You can go and fight the one and only sandworms from Dude. And let me just say, my god, this looks awesome. At least until my pawns end up disappearing from the face of the earth due to said awesome worm. So to actually use this mod, you first need a syndicate contract. If you accept, they will provide you the needed sand hammer. You must bring it to the Deep Sands Echo Zone on your map and set it up. From there, hit it and prepare yourselves. You'll be in for the fight of your life, but perhaps the rewards will be worth the pain and misery. And keep an eye out from this modder. I hear there are other great leviathans out there to hunt. Finally, to round out this list of the strange mods, how about we talk about a strange little girl who can level the playing field with one spell. That's right, it's Megumin. With her one and only explosion magic. Only one problem. It is super draining. Yeah, the Psycast, in exchange for immense powerful potential, causes a huge amount of neural heat. So much so that weaker Psycasters risk permanent brain damage from all the comas they are gonna fall into. Still though, it's an awesome way to clear out a big problem fast, if you don't mind having your caster sit one out after. If you have vanilla expanded Psycasting, you get an entire tree of casting. But Royalty gives you the standard explosion spell and a cool radius AoE spell that's a decent defensive spell. If you do want to master this Psycasting tree, arm them with all the Psycasting gear, implants, and even genes to help that neural heat issue. Quite the weirdness out on the rim, and I'm pretty sure there are plenty of mods we didn't talk about, especially if they never got updated to the latest version. Looking at you, Actual Cannibal, Shia LaBeouf, and that gray goo flavor pack that unleashed a plague of nanites on the world. Honestly, let me know in the comments any weird mods we miss, especially from earlier versions of Rimworld. Be nice to laugh about some of them, and maybe, who knows, someone who might continue them. Or maybe it might be for the best some of them remain obscure, like those that must not be named. I'd like to thank all the patrons that make videos like this possible, and everyone else. If you like the video, make sure to subscribe. It lets us know we're doing a good job. We'll see you in the next video.